Now, for our business update, then, we're going to start with a warning by the European Union to major social networks about disinformation on their platforms. Our business editor, Charlotte Pellegrin, is on set to tell us more. Charles.
That's right, Erin. EU Commissioner Thierry Breton sent letters to both Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk asking for responses within 24 hours. This follows what the EU says is an increase in illegal content and disinformation on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or X, formerly known as Twitter, in the wake of Hamas's attack on Israel. Now, under the European Union's new Digital Services Act, major platforms are responsible for monitoring for these risks, notably terrorist content or hate speech. The EU's commissioner stressed the importance of doing so, especially ahead of upcoming elections in the bloc. Yinka Oyatade has the details.
As violence rages in Israel and Gaza, so does fake news on social media. The EU is making an urgent appeal to big tech. In a letter addressed to Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg on Wednesday, Thierry Breton, the bloc's industry chief, urged the platform to do more to curb disinformation or face penalties. It comes a day after Breton made a similar call to ex-owner Elon Musk. Since the start of the war, social media networks have been awash with graphic images and misinformation linked to the violence. Fact-checkers at France 24 have been debunking some of the falsehoods.
Captured by Hamas, especially this appalling video that's been circulating and seen 2 million times on this post only on X, posted by the chairman of the far-right group in the UK, Britain First, where she claims Israeli children kidnapped and kept in cages by Hamas. Contrary to the claims, these videos do not show Israeli children captured by Hamas. We found
posts like this one are just the tip of the iceberg. Under the EU's Digital Services Act, large social media platforms like X are obliged to stop the spread of harmful content or face fines of up to 6% of their annual global revenue. Instead, experts say that X's algorithm is actively promoting disinformation on the Israel-Hamas war, favoring posts by accounts that pay for its blue-check subscription service, regardless of who runs them. Users can receive payment under the scheme, giving them more incentive to publish posts that are likely to elicit strong reactions and go viral.
Well, in a request for a comment made by CNBC, a Meta spokesperson said, "We quickly established a special operations center staffed with experts, including fluent Hebrew and Arabic speakers, to closely monitor and respond to this rapidly evolving situation. Our teams are working around the clock to keep our platforms safe, take action on content that violates our policies or local law, and coordinate with third-party fact-checkers in the region to limit the spread of misinformation." And there was also a statement by ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino shortly, just a few minutes ago, saying that shortly after the news broke about Hamas attack, X assembled a leadership group to assess the situation since the terrorist attack on Israel. "We've taken action to remove or label tens of thousands of pieces of content." So far, since the start of the conflicts, X says it has identified and removed hundreds of Hamas-affiliated accounts from their platform. Let's move on now with a checkup on the stock markets. The major Asian marketplaces trading higher this Thursday. Investors awaiting key inflation data out of the U.S. later this Thursday, figures that will inform the next rate decision by the Federal Reserve on October 31st. You can see there, leading the gains, the Hang Seng in Hong Kong up over 2% this hour. And China's big four banks are seeing a rally on the stock markets as well after the country's sovereign wealth fund boosted its stake in them and is set to continue to do so over the next 6 months. The move is a bid to renew confidence in the country's struggling stock market. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China with the biggest gains, as you can see here, up over 5% on the mainland Chinese stock exchange on the Shanghai Composite. Well, in Argentina, the country's tumbling currency is taking center stage in the election campaign. Frontrunner Javier Milei, who is running on a dollarization platform, made comments saying the peso isn't worth excrement, his words, and to never invest in it. This has then led incumbent President Alberto Fernandez to report Milei for intimidation after Milei's comments. The currency crashed to over 1,000 peso to $1 on the informal market, a new record. The Economist refuted the notion that he's responsible for this crash. Take a listen.
Our statements about the Argentine economic situation are the same ones we have been maintaining for years, and this impoverishing model inexorably leads to hyperinflation. And that has nothing to do with us. I ask you, am I responsible for the fiscal deficit? Am I responsible for the monetary emission? Am I responsible for taking on debt?
And in the U.S., a sharp escalation of the United Auto Workers strike against the country's big three automakers. With little warning, the union shut down Ford's biggest plant globally, stopping the production of money-making pickup trucks. Over 8,000 workers at the company's Kentucky truck site walked off the job after the union said Ford refused to move further in contract bargaining, while automakers have conceded to double their initial wage hike offers and improve pay for temp workers. The unions expected further improvements in Wednesday talks, but Ford came back with the same offer.
Charles Pellegrin with Business. Thank you.